Hello, good evening, Chuempala. My name is Elias Munsha, and I'm coming to you live from Calgary, Alberta, from part of the TV Bagwedu studios. Of course, as you may be aware, our studio is in 2 or 3 places or 4 places, who knows? Okay, today we have a very exciting guest, and of course, as usual, I'm with my co-host, Mr. Norman Chipakupaku. We're going to let you share with as many people as possible, let them know that we are here, and then we are going to start. I will now ask Mr. Norman Chipakupaku to say hello as you are sharing this feed with various people in your network. We are aware that this is late, and so we'll try to be as brief as possible. General.
Good evening, Chuempala. Good evening, Chipata, because we are hosting somebody very special from Chipata tonight. Good evening, Iteshiteshi. There was somebody, one of our viewers, who said if you can say Iteshiteshi today, you will give us stars. So good evening, Iteshiteshi. Good evening, Porokoso again. Good evening, our friends in Kalabo tonight. And good evening from Scotland, and I hope you've had a good weekend, Munsha.
Oh yes, I was preaching today, and so it went well. Otherwise, the weekend is good.
I was following the preaching. I also enjoyed the music as well, which was fantastic. So I think here we go, Munsha. Today has been a long day, long weekend, beautiful weather in Scotland, but the politics in Zambia goes on.
Right.
So we have a guest, Munsha. Can you guess where this guest is from? I think you know. She's from Chipata. Your Chipata.
Oh yes. So is that my Chipata? Is that my side of Chipata?
Yes, it's your side of Chipata, but it's called Kasenengwa constituency, which is also a Kasenengwa district now, because before I left Chipata, there was no Kasenengwa district. It was all Chipata. And our guest tonight, before we go into the other politics of Solwezi, we go into the politics of Americans, and we go into the other politics. We'll start with our guest, who's the UPND parliamentary candidate for Kasenengwa. This lady, we have to give her respect. She's in Kosikas.
Right.
The daughter of Chief Gala.
Yeah. And
so we have to give her respect. She is a public relations practitioner, practices public relations. She did a BSc in public administration and an MSc in corporate communications. So we have to be very careful what we say, Musha, tonight, because she's a specialist. Definitely. And she worked for the Bank of Zambia from 2019 to 2021. She was with the Bank of Zambia. She became the candidate in Kasenengwa. Her name is Beauty Piri. She became the candidate for UPND to replace the late candidate, Engineer Miti. So I would like to say good evening, Nkosikas. I don't know whether that's right. There are two terms. There's the Chewa tradition and the Ngoni tradition. So
Nkosikas is Ngoni.
Yeah, it's Ngoni. That's why I wanted to correct myself. So I need the princess herself to correct me. Good evening, Beauty Peri. I won't call you honorable until you win. So good evening, Beauty Peri, and welcome to Bakwetu TV.
Good evening. Thank you, Mr. Chipakupaku. I'm really grateful to be on this platform. Yes, in the Ngoni land, they call me Kosikazi. In my land, I am just the princess of the Chewa land. Nothing more, nothing less. Thank you so much for hosting me, and good evening to everyone watching this program tonight.
Thank you so much, the princess. And for those of you who don't know the Chewa kingdom, it stretches from Malawi, Zambia, and Mozambique, and a bit of Tanzania. Am I right, princess?
Yes, It stretches from Malawi, Mozambique, and Zambia. So he's the paramount chief for the people of the Chewa people of Malawi, Mozambique, and Zambia.
Musha, you've learned something tonight.
Of course, I always learn something. Now, General, I did grade 9 history, and one of the essays I was writing on was guess. Undi, Gawa Undi. So I can narrate, even to date, I can narrate the story of the Gawa Undi's kingdom. That's the essay that I did.
Fantastic.
And then, General, one more thing about Chewa. The Chewa chiefs are the second highest number. Is it second or third highest number of chiefs in Zambia?
Well, Musha, probably you know these statistics better than I do. But what I can only tell you is that the Chewa chiefs and the Gawa, I know, was my father-in-law. So you should have a lot of respect for me, because my very close friend was married to a Gawa's daughter. So it's a privilege really to interview her tonight. So Princess Beauty Piri, candidate for Kasenengwa constituency. It's sad that you've got to replace Engineer Miti. So for how many days have you been given to campaign?
Although I've been on the ground campaigning as an independent candidate, but officially I was given a month to campaign, because I joined UPND and I filed in my nominations on the 12th of July up to the 11th. I think that is 29 days. So basically I've been campaigning on the ground before I got adopted on the UPND ticket, because I've been campaigning as an independent candidate. So basically I think the campaigns for me started earlier, but it's just a continuation, but rather a change of a symbol and where I'm standing as a political party.
Okay, and for Kasenengwa constituency, how many wards do you have?
We have 8 wards in Kasenengwa constituency in total. So we have Chiparamba ward, we have Mpunza, we have Kwenje, we have Mkowe, we have Makungwa, we have Chingazi, Ngongwe, and Mboza.
Oh, I remember these wards very well, especially Mboza and Makungwa itself. Very, very interesting wards indeed. Chiparamba, yes. I remember Chiparamba. That's the one to the airport, Tumfuwe.
Tumfuwe, yes.
Musha, you don't know Chipata very well. So I'll try and ask questions, but you will have your chance, my dear friend. Okay. So what are the issues, Princess? First of all, before you answer that question, we have been told that the Eastern Province is the bedroom of the PF. How true is that?
A bedroom of a PF, that is a lie. Because, you know, when one says, this is my bedroom, you normally have to take care of a bedroom. You ensure that your bedroom is cleaned. You ensure that your bedroom is neatly put, so that even as you are going back in that bedroom, you're going to sleep on a very neat bed. You're going to ensure that the bedroom is very clean. But when you don't clean a place, then that is not your bedroom. Because at the end of it all, you have neglected it, and it doesn't seem to be a place where you're going to rest. It seems like it's a dumping ground. It seems like it's a place where you have neglected and you don't care about it. So when you say it's my bedroom, you should be able to substantiate your claims and say, in our bedroom, we even bought a bed. In my bedroom, I've even bought a carpet because I want to be comfortable. And in my bedroom, when I go there, I know I can sleep peacefully. Today, Kasenengwa, you can't say that Kasenengwa and Eastern Province is the bedroom of a PF, because the people want change. The people are talking about how they have not been cared for. The people are talking about how nobody thought they were human beings. They were animals because no one cared about them. So when somebody claims this is our bedroom, and the very bedroom that they're talking about is dirty, the same bedroom they're talking about is not well kept, then I wonder how your bedroom cannot be well kept, because that is a place where you're going to rest and where you're going to put your thoughts together. So that is a lie, and it should not be agreed to that is their bedroom. We cannot say Eastern Province is their bedroom any longer because they never cared for this bedroom.
Well, I remember campaigning in your constituency with Professor Mvunga in 1991. That is a huge constituency. It's a very, very big. I remember because Professor Mvunga was the MP for Katenengo for a long time. And,
Very true.
and that area is massive. How are you managing to do that, to cover the whole constituency?
The area is massive. The good part is that it is divided into wards. Although it's divided into wards, but you need a lot of people to work with, such that when you go to one ward, you have at least foot soldiers on the other wards, because Kasanenga stretches all the way into Katete. It's bordering Katete the other side. It's bordering Malambo this other side. It's bordering Chipangali the other side. It's also bordering Luangeni this other side. So when you're campaigning in Kasenengwa, you need to be so careful, because at the end of it, or you might not reach certain places because of lack of roads, lack of bridges. For you to access certain places like in Punza Ward, it is very difficult in Mboza because of lack of roads, and they are so far away. And you need to ensure that you have vehicles that are so high, vehicles that are able to traverse in these very difficult areas of Kasenengwa. It's been a very, very difficult journey to ensure that you are all in all the 8 wards for us. But what we've done is that we've divided ourselves. We've put our foot soldiers on the ground that are going the areas that you're not in, but not that we haven't been everywhere. As I'm talking right now, I can report to you that I've been in all the 8 wards, including the most remote place in Kasenengwa, and that is near Malambo. Yes.
Okay, and our viewers always accuse us. Me, I don't apologize. I'm UPND. My friend Munsha is NDC. So for me, I'm UPND. I don't apologize for that. Now, who is the PF candidate in Kasenengo?
Philemon Puasa.
Was he the former MP? Or is a new MP?
No, he wasn't. He's a new person as well, coming in as a new person in Kasenengwa.
Okay, and who was the former MP for Kasenengwa?
Sencho Banda.
Oh, Sencho Banda, yes, I remember that. Now, I remember that before I hand over to Musha, Kasenengwa is a very huge constituency, and it's an agricultural constituency. I remember Chiparamba. Again, I know that I can talk about Chiparamba because I've got a field in Chiparamba, in Kefa village. I think you know where Kefa village is. I've got a field there. So what is that the major industry? There are no industries in Kasenengwa. Is that the major sector which employs people? Is that just agriculture? And what do they produce?
First of all, let me agree with you that the only thing that people do in Kasenengwa is farming. And there's no any form of industry. There's no company in Kasenengwa. Despite Kasenengwa being declared a district, there's no form of development that you can see in Kasenengwa that could help people. Most of the people that stay in Kasenengwa, if they're looking for jobs, they have to move from Kasenengwa to Chipata. If they have to find a major hospital, they have to move from Kasenengwa to Chipata. The only thing that the people in Kasenengwa know is to farm. Their way of life every day is farming. Those people are farmers, and they've taken farming as a business. Apart from that, there's nothing else. Their trading is purely farming products, farm products that they trade in. There's nothing else that they do. There's no industry. There's no company. There is no bank. There is no shopping mall. There is literally nothing in Kasenengwa apart from grass-thatched houses and a few other houses that are being rented by the government. The DC's office, it's a home for a former member of parliament who built, and they're renting a home for somebody and made it into offices. Apart from that, what you're going to see are buildings that were left in the Kaunda era. Nothing else that has been built, nothing new in Kasenengwa. And so there is no company in Kasenengwa that you can talk about that can employ our youths. And that is why Kasenengwa has a high number of youths that are unemployed, and they're busy drinking in the villages doing nothing.
So I'll hand over to Musha after this question, Princess. What are the crops? What do they grow? Because I know places like Kapara. Kapara is in your constituency, am I right?
Yes,
Yeah,
you're very
and
right.
yeah, a lot of people always saying I'm not from Eastern Province. Now you know that I'm from Eastern Province. I live in Eastern Province. What crops do they grow in Kasenengo, Princess?
Kasenenga grows maize. Kasenenga grows sunflower. Kasenenga grows soya beans. Those are the type of crops that are grown in Kasenenga. We have a few that are into gardening, and so they'll produce a bit of rep. They'll produce a bit of impua, but that is just for consumption at household level. Not much that can be taken out. There are others who are producing also things like crops uh, onions. Yes, that has been helping them because there was a ban on onion importation in Zambia at some
Mm-hmm.
point. I think for a good 3 to 4 months there was a ban, and I think our clever farmers had to grow onions. It helped them a bit, but that has been expensive on them just to purchase onions, and those are the things that they do for those that have got gardens. So a few that have got water maybe close to their homes in their gardens are the ones that diversify. The rest of them just depend on maize, soya beans, sunflower, and then cotton,
Thank you so much, Princess. I think
and also tobacco.
I want to be very fair to Munsha. Munsha, over to you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I think one of the things that we do is General is very well knowledgeable about things that go on in Chipata. I also have some knowledge of what goes on in Chipata. But Princess Beauty Piri, could you kindly let us know how you decided to get into politics and be drawn to Kasenengwa? Was it just because you felt like it was fate for you being a princess of the Undi kingdom?
First of all, Munsha, let me say that in our tradition and custom, a princess is rarely seen in politics. A princess is normally not allowed to politic. A princess is supposed to be indoors. You are not supposed to speak on any matters that concern this country. Apparently, apart from Princess Nakatindi winner or in Eastern Province, I should be the first princess to rise up and get into politics. I should be the first child from a royal family that has come out to say, I want to do politics. And believe it or not, it hasn't been easy because there are these issues of tribal groupings in Eastern Province that has arisen. And when you're talking about tribal groupings, you're not talking about only Tongas that are being told you can't rule. Even in our place, we have such issues. So when a princess rises up the way I have, they feel like I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. My duty is not to go into politics, but they feel that my duty is in the kitchen. And as a princess, I'm supposed to be in the palace, speaking about issue that concerns people in the palace and not in politics. Now, coming back to how I joined and why I joined politics. I joined politics, I think, way back in 2016. First of all, I had to go back and do public administration. That's the reason why I did public administration, so that I understand how government works. And I immediately had to get into the government system to ensure that I understand how government works. And I chose local government. I made sure that I went to work in local government so that I understand how the government works and how I can help my people in Kasenengwa. What made me go back to get into politics is the many challenges that I found people were facing on the ground. And not only that, you find that we are getting people to be politicians, people to govern us who do not even understand the basic way of governing. We are getting people who are not even educated and cannot understand, and it's very painful when they're articulating issues and they cannot give you proper issues that they're articulating about. For me, I think Parliament has been a joke for a long time because we have picked people who don't understand what governance means. We've picked people who don't understand what it means to give a service to the people, but people just want to go to Parliament to make money. And when I saw the sufferings of the people because of so many lies that people have been given, I took advantage of 2018 after the demise of Victoria Kalima, may her soul rest in peace, and applied to be adopted on a PF ticket then that I should contest in Kasenengwa. But like always, in politics, a woman is not given, in Zambian politics, a woman is not given a lot of respect. They thought they should pick a man, and that's how they picked up Essential in 2018, who lamentably failed the people of Kasenengwa. When I went back into Kasenengwa, I found that the same problems that they were crying about, the lack of basic amenities, the lack of care by the government itself, I said this constituency needs a woman, needs a young person who has different minds, a woman who can think for them, a young person who has got new ideas, fresh ideas of governance to give them proper development. And that is how I started my politics. It was a plan that I made for over 10 years that I needed to represent the people of Kasenengwa, because Kasenengwa needs proper representation.
Right. Now, if you have to send a message to the people of Kasenengwa, or maybe before I go to that question, maybe let me deal with this. We have several people right now that are listening to you, and so I would like you to make a pitch to someone somewhere around the globe, because our TV reaches quite a lot of diverse people, some of them in the diaspora and everywhere else. If you were to look at some of the, I know we have very few days remaining, but if you were to look at some of the needs that your campaign needs, what would those be?
First of all, I think we have a challenge of Kasenengwa is one of the constituencies that is very expensive to campaign in, because one, the issues that were brought into Kasenengwa, that people will not look at proper development. For you to win a vote, you need to be financially stable, because now there's this issue of corruption that goes around. When you go into the constituency, everybody says TDM, TDM, TDM. And you know, because our members of parliament also have made this seat to be something like a money-making venture, where they'll tell people that I'll do this for you. They'll go forever and never come back. And now the people are saying, before we vote for you, give us money. Before you vote for you, before we vote for you, are you going to do the roads for us? Before we vote for you, give us also the Chitenge materials. Before you go to parliament, because imwe vantu mukapita ku parliament muchitoti mwapitiratu ngati bongololo, mukabwera mvula ikakabwera pajapo kafuna kuti mfuna mavoti, ndipo pamene mukabwera kuti patsenkoni mavoti koma lomba mutipatsiretu ndalama, kuti mukatipatsa ndalama tidyeretu zathu nase, tikadyeratu zathu nase ndalama, ndipo pokufasani voti kuti mwenangu mkapitetu tibena mwe ntchito yomwe chifukwa ise tifuna kudya. What I can appeal to the people, what I can tell the people in the diaspora is that it's so painful to see your people suffering. In Kasenengwa right now, the people are unable to buy sugar because sugar is expensive for them. If you remember very well, there was that sachet that we used to buy as young people called Super Dip or Super Sip that we used to put on our palms, and we tried to eat it like that. It was for fun.
Princess,
that is the powder that they are using.
But when you mention Super Sip, it gives me an idea
Yes.
of how old you are.
Yes.
So thank you.
That Super Sip, Mr. Munsha, has become sugar for the people of Kasenengwa. They cannot afford sugar. They use that Super Sip to put in their porridge for the children to eat. That in itself tells you how people are Kasenengwa. For me, I can appeal to people. If they can manage to help purchase materials, they can help us get on the ground with we need fuel to go around and tell the people that, yes, you have suffered enough. Change is coming with Hakainde Hichilema, who is focused and wants to understand your problems and get to sort your problems out as he gets into power. If people can help us with all sorts of financial support to get to the people, because we are in the dying minutes, and these are the important minutes for us to reach the people and convince them and tell them and remind them of the sufferings that they are going through to change government. This is the right time for them to help us. Let them help us with anything, even a 1 kwacha. would be more important in our campaigns. Put together 10 people, one kwacha will make a difference to reach the many Zambians who are unable to make a decision. Those Zambians who are being cheated and are given salt in the night, they're unable to make a decision because they're given a basic cooking oil, they're given a basic mealie meal just for 1 month, and they'll not think about anything else because that's what they want, to go and convince them that, look, there is life beyond a bottle of cooking oil. We need your help. Wherever you are, remember your brothers and sisters are suffering. They're unable to buy sugar today. They're using super sip. They're unable to purchase fertilizers. These people are suffering. There's hunger at household level. We need your help.
Right. So how can people reach you?
They can reach me.
Your
Either
campaign.
I'm on, yes, on campaign. They can reach me. Firstly, others have been using my LinkedIn account. It's
Right.
Beauty Undi. Yes, it's Beauty Undi. You'll find me on LinkedIn as Beauty Undi. For those that would want to get directly through my number, it's a 0977 Zambian number 0977 520 306. You will find me on WhatsApp. You can WhatsApp me using that number, or you can get me on Instagram. My name on Instagram is Pretty Undi. Pretty Undi. So whoever wants to get me can get me on Instagram on Pretty Undi, and then you can get me on my LinkedIn account as Beauty Undi, or the number that I've given 0977 520 306. You can WhatsApp me. I should be able to get back to you very quickly.
Okay, so I've already sent a connect message on LinkedIn, because as you are talking, I'm also trying to reach. Now, when it comes to your number, I don't know, do we post it here, General? Because I don't want it to be spammed, because...
No. Yeah, my worry is that the law in this country, especially where I am here, we have to get consent from the owner of the number, because the law in the UK, we cannot publish your number without your consent. Yeah. And what I would say to our viewers, if you want to get in touch with Beauty on the mobile, get in touch with me. Just inbox me. I'll give you her number.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that. But those that can connect through LinkedIn, they can do that. Particularly you diasporans, because you already are using LinkedIn and everything else. I want tomorrow or next week, I want Princess Beauty Piri to come back and say that TV Bakwedo helped at least put together something to help her campaign. I want us to be practical. Mwachira mogu tushoba. Atine na bachipakupakupa no. Tulandalanda fie. Tulerandalanda no kusabaira. No. We want to do something positive. Kwa sharama dezi yanga Princess before elections.
18 days.
Have we lost her?
We are remaining.
Go ahead, Princess.
18 days. We're remaining with exactly 18 days to go.
Yeah. So if we are remaining with 18 days, imweba diaspora, not if you are just good at talking. No. Within 18 days, we can do something at least for the campaign in Kasenengwa. So please go to LinkedIn and get in touch directly. General Chipakupaku says that he's offering himself, so you can also contact him, and then he will contact our candidate. And don't contact me yet, because in Mwandini, I don't reply on time.
Yeah, I know.
We know. So I need to be very clear about, don't contact me. I may not reply on time, and we only have 18 days for the Kasenengwa campaign. So get in touch with General and send direct messages to Beauty Undi on LinkedIn. And the number that was given, you can also use that one, but we can't just publish it because we don't want people spamming her, all sorts of things, selling her gold and diamonds and things like that. We don't want that. Now, do you have a message for the people of Kasenengwa? No, therefore,
Musha, before we go to that's the question.
Right.
How many schools and how many hospitals do you have in your constituency, Princess Piri?
believe it or not, that the only secondary school that we have right now is Kasenengwa boarding, and also Chiparamba, the old schools that you left. The new school, the only new school that we have is Kasenengwa boarding. All the schools that you left, that you knew, the old schools that Kaunda left, are the only schools that are in Kasenengwa. I was in Kwenje ward, and I went to Tambala village. Mr. Chipakupaku and Mr. Musha, what I found there was so depressing. I found a school that looks like a barn, like where you put tobacco. There is no floor, there is no desk. The children sit on the floor. 53 years after independence, we have such types of schools today. And that school was built by the Indunas themselves, not even government, not even an MP. The question I'm asking is that, where have we been? Why have we neglected our own people who vote for us? Why have we neglected our own children? If we are not careful, Kasenengwa will have people who have children who will not go to school, who cannot read and write. I went to another one, what we call Penias village. It's very close to Malambo. Those people cannot even cross the river because there's no bridge. And I am told that when it's rain season, our children can't move. When you see a school as well, it's something that you can shed tears on. I couldn't even go with the vehicle. I had to leave the vehicle back, and I had to get on a motorbike for me to access people in Penias village. That is very, very unfortunate and very unfair. And I can tell you that the people were complaining. They were saying, amayiphiri lomba ngati vana vathu sivazaphunzira sukulu ndiye kuti tikhale mana mbuli zimene sizidziwa olemba, zimene vana vathu sakadziwa kuti mwina nawonso sogolo lawo nsukulu. Vana amene sadziwa nopita ku sukulu chifukwa chakuti kulibe misewu, kulibenso masukulu yomwe. And the teacher pupil ratio is very pathetic. It's so annoying that you can have 35 kids in class with only one teacher, and that one teacher is teaching 4 classes or 5 classes at a school, and you expect our children to be future leaders. Who's going to lead this country if we can neglect the education sector in such a manner? What do you expect to come out of our children if you can neglect the education sector and you are telling us that you have given development, and that development is only in Lusaka? Zambia is not only Lusaka. Kasenengwa is also Zambia. And these kids are Zambians. And we should be able to give them education at all costs if we have to see the brightness of this country. Believe it or not, it's so annoying. It's so disheartening. It's painful to watch when you come to Kasenengwa.
Princess, I was general manager of AgriCorp, which was one of the biggest cooperatives in the Eastern Province. And I hear that the PF is boasting every day that they've got cooperatives in throughout the country. How many cooperatives do you have in your constituency?
There are no cooperatives in our in Kasenengwa constituency. The cooperatives they're talking about is where they tell people to gather together and make create a group that they call a cooperative, and they'll give them a certificate. Those people, when they give them certificates, they're saying there's a leader who's leading them, and they say they're going to give them fertilizer. The fertilizer input system, the program that they've put in place, the FISIP, is in itself is a fraud. It's a fraud, because you know what is happening is that they're still giving fertilizers to people who have been getting fertilizers from time immemorial. The FISIP itself in Zambia is not working. In Kasenengwa in particular, this is the cry of the farmers in Kasenengwa. They're saying, when Mwanawasa was president, he used to give them 8 bags of fertilizer. Rupia Banda came in and gave them 8 bags of fertilizer. Michael Chirufesata came and reduced it to 4 bags of fertilizer. Eddie Galungu comes, he gives them 1 bag to share in a cooperative. They're calling a cooperative, and it is a group of maybe women and men who must be maybe 13 or 30 in a group, and you give them 1 bag to share. Others are getting it in gallons. Did you return to Binyira? Then they are not even getting it. And you know what is very sad, Mr. Chipakupaku and Mr. Munsha, is that this FISIP, the program that they've brought to give fertilizers to farmers, despite the farmers paying for it, They'll pay today. They'll demand that you pay for this fertilizer. When they come back, they'll tell them, you guys are too new. You cannot be paid. You cannot be given fertilizer. Are you sure? Do we have food at household level when you're treating people in such a manner? Would we have food? Even in the country, they call it bumper harvest, but they're stealing from the farmers because they're asking them to pay their hard-earned money. And then after paying their hard-earned money, they're not given that FISIP. That FISIP program is only given to their relatives, people that they know. They choose the people that they know, they support them, and people that they know that these people, yes, they are our people. But does hunger look at a human being as in your religion? Does it look at what party you support? Does it look at tribe? No, it doesn't. But we have a government that talks about FISIP every single day, and yet a farmer is complaining every single day that they're not given that fertilizer on time, one. And secondly, they're meant to share one bag of fertilizer among us 30 people. Is that feasible? Is that the right way to treat the farmers who are that is the only source of income? A farmer only gets paid once in a year, and they've made farming as a business. Now, if they cannot come out with, cannot reap a lot of things to what they sowed, then they are unable to manage to take care of their families. They cannot take their children to school. And those are the challenges they are facing in Kasenengwa. Not only Kasenengwa, but most of the farmers are complaining in Eastern Province about the FISIF program, which has been a fraud. And the government of Edgar Chagwalungu knows that the FISIF program has been a fraud. It needs to be revisited.
No, I totally agree with you. FISIP, which is run by the Guptas, the Zambian Guptas, is a fraud. I totally agree with you. And I've done research on that FISIP, and I know what I'm talking about. The cost of fertilizer is inflated, and it's the Guptas. And one day they will annoy me. I'll mention their names because these Guptas are from Eastern Province. We know them. Muazi are mine. Okay, Musha, that's a final question. Muazibaka,
Yes.
Your question, you wanted her to answer it in Chichewa. But before you answer the princess, you say the bongololo, mukaenda kusaka nimwe bongololo. What does bongololo mean? Because our viewers don't know. Ati ma MP ni ma bongololo.
Because what happens here, princess, is all these terms that you are using here, please be careful, because you are going to see them being used against all these bongololos everywhere.
So, princess,
so please tell us.
Bongololo, what is a bongololo in Chichewa?
Bongololo ni Chichewa akulu. Mukanuza tinkabe mchizungu sinziva ine nemchela. Bongololo, okay. It's that I don't know how you call it. Those things that come during rain season, you know them, those that cross, those that are like a train. What do you call them? Mr. Musha, it's in them Zungu.
It's a millipede. It's a chongololo or millipede in Chizungu.
Akuti millipede ina nine mchera. Sinziva millipede kanchani. It comes during the rain season. It looks like a train like that. We used to love it. I think there's the way it moves. And then those things only come during rain season. When it's not rain season, they are not seen. That is how a politician now, these politicians have been behaving. They will come when it's elections time. After elections, they'll disappear to Lusaka. They'll stay in a capital city. They will not be seen, and they'll change their numbers. Bongololo samfuna abantu Kasenengwa bongololo. Asakabelenga tikulimfula yemwe.
So Bongololo, my MP, especially about PF, they've been behaving like Bongololos. They only appear after 5 years. So Musha, what was your question, Musha, again? And you wanted her to answer in Chichewa.
I'm digesting Bongololo first. Now, they always accuse me. General Chipakupaku accuses me that Nshiranda we know each nyanja and which chewa. So I don't even go there. And so I must rehearse the correct intonation for Bongololo, not Bongololo. Eh? How should it be?
Bongololo.
Bongololo. And one of the things that I really like about my heritage is I actually started my school in Chipata. My father was a teacher at Hillside Secondary School. So I like Chipata, and I used to speak deep Chewa as a child.
I'm glad that you are the father at Hillside Secondary School. I was actually at Hillside Primary School before I went to St. Monica's Secondary School in Eastern Province.
So this is very interesting. Musha, what was your question? You said, what is your last message?
To the people of Kasenengwa in Chewa, please.
Thank you so much for hosting me, first of all. Koma nikambena vantu vaku Kasenengwa kwathu kuti vamve. Vantu vaku Kasenengwa ngatidi tifuna kuti tione chitukuko Kasenengwa tentivotele UPND. Mavuto yathu tense tiyaziva. Mavuto yathu tense tiyaona tikhala nayo. Amene adziva vuto lake adziva kuti koma ngatidi tifuna kuti tichokemo mboma ya IPF tentiyetseko UPND. HH ali nayo ndondomeko imene alufuna kuti imwe na ine tichoke mmavuto. Misewu zimene tavutana nazo izi vana vathu alukangiwo pita ku skulu tilibe mmotoka zokaenda mmisewu kapita ku chipatala azimayi na azibambo tiye ntipenyetsetse chino chaka ndale zathu zisakhale zakuti ndavati vakonda APF kaya kapena ngati vakonda ediga yayi tione pavuto lathu tione mmavuto imene tipitamo imwe mwense amene muli dandaula kuti kulibe vipatala voti pasa mankhwala kuti ukapita ku chipatala alikulemberani akulembereni kangati azimayi ni azibambo muchite bwanji muitotse kuti ndalama yokagula mankhwala ku pharmacy kapena ku drug store kulibe mankhwala ku pharmacy akulemberani tuvipepala kuti kapiteni mukagule mankhwala tikwanitse niye boma imene mfuna yo ate vakuti utsutsa ngomwa noivulira tinayetso bavulira APF anakanga lero tentiyetseko wena tentichiteko zakupya tikatengeko wena wodziva vuto lathu tikatengeko wena wodziva kuti mavuto amene tipitamo akatithandizira imwe voti chino chaka mpadzanja chabe padzanja Zambia patsogolo tisabwerere mbuyo asatibweze mbuyo azimayi na azibambo tinalo danga ise tentikavote mmene tili nayo danga lathu ili pa NRC yathu danga lathu ili pa voters card danga lathu lokavota lochinja boma mwamuna akakangika timsuzula tentasuzula PF titengeko wa mwamuna wina wodziva vuto lathu woticheukira msakayivalo ukavotera mbeauty phiri MP Kasenengwa wokucheukirani mzimayi wodziva vuto lanu wodziva kuti mzimayi chitenge chikabowoka akagulire atate sapato ikaonongeka tikagule msakatenge mwana wina yayi koma wanu wa mkasenengwa wodziva vuto lanu azimayi zazibambo nipempha kwa imwe voti ya chino chaka ikhale padzanja chabe Zambia forward kwatha zikomo kwambiri Musha zikomo achipakupaku wonipatsa mpata wokamba nawo vanthu vaku Kasenengwa tenti msuzule PF zikomo.
A princess akuti kususa ngomwa ni kuivulira. Tufuna tuuza Musha.
Efyo mwamfu wapo fye general pali fyonse fila ifyo barandire muchichewa nachila umfu aine imbo mwasa umfu wapo fye mfe
Musha tufunika tumuuje kama tukususa ngomwa ni kuivulira.
Nuivulira Musha nuivulira utsutsa ngomwa nuivulira.
Musha waimva wachimba chichewa ka
alechi chewe chichali palana sana ne chibemba pantu efyo nde umfu afye chau shicheka cheka.
I just wanted to say
kupesha chivola kuumupankwira kuumupankwira nangu kumubongo swela
nipake. Princess Beauty Piri, we wish you the best. We will appeal to people to help you. I know your constituency. I lived there. I've got Chiparamba, Kwenje, and all those places. I used to have farmers everywhere. We want a good MP for Kasenengwa.
Yes.
I campaigned with Professor Mvunga in 1991. Before that, I campaigned. So we need a good MP. And to me, you can make a good MP. We need people to support you. So I just want to go ahead.
We wish you all the best. And we are already seeing some comments on our page. Some are saying, let Princess phone me. No, ladies and gentlemen, she is busy in the field campaigning. This is a lot of work. Yep. Make things easier. Instead of her phoning you, find a way of you reaching her. That's far much easier. Secondly, General Chipakupaku is committing himself to say that if you sent him a message, he's going to get back to you. So please use those channels. They are better, they are easier, they are much more efficient. This thing of letting the candidate phone, candidates, Amano Yama candidates, yari all over. Imagine 8 words, 69,000 people, and so Amano yari everywhere. So natubafuidi sheko. You make the effort. You go and deliver. Not that your candidate ninkwata masaka amataba nomba so sende. No, that's not helpful. Niwebo wewa kumutuwadila waya mutudikira candidate that candidate na kupala kabiye nomba uyo bebe abena kasenengo kweba ati baka votere pesa pakuboko. Ine I'm not a campaign. I don't campaign for UPND, you know. Ine I'm not kutuwalufiani no kulufiania. Naleka. General, please go continue. Bandu kutuwakana nefe taufiro kukana. Mwamwa. Mukulanderanda wambo kustabayira wambo kulandefe taufiro kulanda.
Princess Beauty Piri, I just wanted to say thank you so much. We know we gave you short notice, and we said we cannot just have male candidates. We wanted to have the first 2 candidates. Yesterday we had Noel Nkoma, who was fireworks. Today we have Kasenengwa fireworks. And to me, it's fantastic. And for me, I must declare interest to come back to our princess, Niaka Zwangune Wamchato. And I wish her all the best. I wish you all the best. And please, 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 I know you haven't got enough time, but people will give you support. We will appeal for people to give you all the support. Even some people in Chipata will help you. There's a lot of people in Chipata who will help you. Let's talk. Ziko
Thank you so much. Ziko munatokoza. Ziko.
Ziko mukwambiri.
Yeah, Ziko.
Ziko. Gonani bwino.
Thank you so much.
Musha, we are going to move on quickly. Quickly, Musha. HH goes this morning to the airport. He wants to fly to Solwezi. And the Air Force and the PF government says, no, you're not going to fly. You can't go to Solwezi because you're not allowed to fly. And HH says, no, I am already here. I'm going to sit in this aircraft. If you don't want me to go, fine. I'll sit here the whole day, the whole night here. They delayed him. Finally, I think they came to their senses, Mucha, because we were about to phone BBC and the Voice of America to say this man is at the airport. They refused him to go. They finally allowed him to go. And what happened in Solwezi, I think PF tonight is shaking. Shaking because Solwezi was out today to show them, to say, really, 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 the next 18 days is going to be fire. So he's back in Lusaka. He has shown PF. The other man was praying in Tezi and saying, do not talk about tribes. We're all Bantubomui, the Hilas, the Tongas, and I'm saying, Mr. President, Mr. Chagwachu, your man has been saying Tongas are bad people.
Right.
He is saying in Tej that the Tongas are the same people. It's funny.
Right.
Really, really funny. So, Musha, Solwezi was on fire today. And the next item which I want to bring to you is that our friend the American is in Mumbwa, in my village. Is in police detention in Mumbwa. They arrested him in Lusaka and transported him to Mumbwa. And today, a team went to Mumbwa to demanding that is released. But what is shocking, Musha, in the last few hours, there is a video from a guy who calls himself Black Apple America 2.
All right.
Who claims that there is a big fight between the provincial chairman, youth chairman of the PF. There is a big split. They've reviewed certain crimes which have been committed. And this gentleman, Black America 2, says that the DEC went and arrested American and planted drugs in his vehicle. That's what he's alleging. So it looks like there's going to be a big trouble. And as we reported the other day, Kamgodi is not closed. Kamgodi is still open.
Right.
It means our people are still in danger. But according to Black Apple America 2, they are fighting over intercity and all the bus stations and all the markets because of money. So Musha, there is a big problem in Kanyama and Lusaka. And if we are not careful, these elections are going to be not from UPND, from PF. There's going to be danger.
So now, when Antonio Mwanza is saying that UPND has 60,000 people, it's actually something that he was projecting. It is the Patriotic Front that has all these militias and then projecting it onto the UPND.
Yes, it was a cover-up.
General, there are some things that are difficult to understand. Now, I know that we've had problems with the gang of Americans, right? It's a militia. That is very clear. And what we wanted was the police to transparently go and disband that militia. For me, I think what I thought was it was either the president as leader of the Patriotic Front and the police disbanding the militia. How do they disband? They disown it. They say they don't recognize it. They stop going there to dance with innocent Kalimanshi. That's what I thought was appropriate. Of course, General, you had other ideas. Being a soldier, you wanted the military to be involved so that they go and flatten the entire camp with bombs and bullets and tear gas. Okay, that's okay. But I think that was the approach. That is what I was looking forward to. But it appears like there wasn't any political will from the president of the Patriotic Front to disband this American militia. Secondly, there is no action from the police that positively goes there and disbands this militia. And then weeks later, to come and hear that they actually found high-grade cannabis in Mr. Innocent Kalimanshi's vehicle, I'm quite skeptical. Okay, I'm not DEC, but I'm quite skeptical. I just do not see how Innocent Kalimanshi would keep high-grade cannabis in his car. I'm sorry.
Musha, I think there's more to what we're just seeing is a tip of the iceberg. This Black Apple America 2 says when they were having the provincial elections and district elections for PF, one of the provincial officials was kidnapped and taken to a graveyard and dressed. He was a candidate and was almost being killed until a phone call came from somewhere. The recording is there. It's on the internet. It's not from me. There was a phone call from somewhere in the high office to say, no, don't do anything bad to this person. Bring him. They went to the graveyard and picked this person, went to a supermarket, bought him clothes, including flip-flops. and then took him back to Mulungushi Conference Center, where the conference center. So, Mosha, this is just a tip of the iceberg. There is something seriously not right in the PF.
They're a violent party. Yeah, they're a violent party. And so we're going to give a few minutes to our friends so that they can chip in. However, I find the aircraft thing quite hilarious, General. Because it appears like Balungu balitemwa sana manone. You see, that's why when I say that Balungu balitemwa manone, it's not me. It is Balungu's behavior. Because there is just no justification whatsoever why he would say that HH's plane should not go to Solwezi. Okay. We challenge the Zambia Air Force and the Zambia Civil Aviation Authority. We challenge you. Why can't HH fly to Solwezi? I don't want any. Okay, General, please play the devil's advocate here. Why can't HH fly from Lusaka International Airport? Ani nendeke mumulu. Elwe ndeke ide ya msenda ya mutula Solwezi. Why can't he do that? What is happening?
Musha is a complete abuse of office by ZAF. And my address tonight is to the ZAF Air Commander and to the Civil Aviation Authority. In 18 days' time, you will have a new government.
Right.
In 18 days' time, Air Force Commander, you will have a new Commander-in-Chief. How do you think that Commander-in-Chief will feel? You'll be lucky if he keeps you in your job, but knowing HH, he will not just fire people. But your job, Mr. Air Force Commander, might depend on this guy in the next 18 days, because he's going to be the president, seventh president. It doesn't make any sense that somebody has chartered an aircraft and he says, I'm going to Savonga, to Solwezi, and you're told, no, you can't go.
So let's speculate on the reasons. Okay, I want to speculate. Can I speculate?
Go ahead, Musha. Go ahead.
Corona. There is too much COVID-19 in the air, so the president wants to prevent the spread of COVID in the air. That's why he said Hichilema can't fly. Is that reason enough?
No, I think the real reason here is that Edgar Chagwalungu wants to enjoy flying on his own because he thinks he's the only one who's entitled to fly.
At Muri Pichikwera Kanshi, at Pansha Pichikwera Chachilamo. Yeah. Okay. Understandable, okay, Chikwera Pansha Chachilamo, because it's too much. Ulepita in Soweto market, ulepunkana na bantu. So as president to rate no na mumwera na mwena in the air, in the sky, omumu inefio mumulumu. Edgar Lungu atiyo alefwa yafe eka anine chiteke ayoko alefwa ayoko ya mukusea umunangu atanine kwendeke atuwe bote tunine ndeke nomba kanshi achitenshi bifinshala achita HH.
No, the truth is, Musha, they want HH to go by road so that they can stop him on roadblocks and accuse him to have, already accusing him of violence in Kembe where he went by road. Musha, I was listening to their virtual rally today, and one lady called Mumbipiri stands up and talks about nothing but HH, and says HH was violent 2 days ago in Kembe. So they don't want him to fly. They want him to go by road so that they can find an excuse to accuse him of something else. So I found the whole thing, it was just ridiculous. But I just wish they had said no. Do you know what could have happened, Musha? It was going to be news everywhere. BBC, World Service, it was going to be everywhere, and Zambia was going to look stupid.
Right.
For no reason.
Now, and then Solwezi, amazing, welcome. Now, I think, General, I need to be very honest. if there were any people in the Zambezi provinces that were sitting on the fence, you see, the reason why I said Chishimba Kambwiri's tribal campaign was bad for PF, this is what I meant. Because even when there could have been some voters who were sitting on the fence in the Zambezi provinces, Chishimba Kambwiri's tribalism pulled that back.
Yeah.
Because if you say that Tongas are selfish and Tongas are going to dominate and Tongas are having meetings in their houses, you know what that message sends? Chishimba Kambwiri from Mporokoso says that it sends a message to all the Zambezi provinces, to all the non-members except Abena Chipata. All the non-members who look at what Chishimba Kambwiri is saying. After he finishes accusing the Tongas, he's going to accuse the Kaondes, he's going to accuse the Lundas, he's going to accuse the Luvales, he's going to accuse the Lozis. We are next.
Yeah.
So Nombakanshi, even the few that would have considered, somehow that would have considered electing Edgar Lungu Chapwa. And the reason is Chishimba Kambwiri. Again, we ask the same question. It's 18 days to go. We ask the candidates, PF candidates in the Zambezi provinces, has Chishimba Kambwiri helped their campaign? No.
It's just sad. It's sad, Musha. So that is the scenario. Where HH goes next, watch the space. Watch the space. Watch the next 2 days or 3 days and see where it goes. And let's see what happens. So, Musha, who have we got?
Well, we've got Christy.
Okay, I always want to go for the new people first, so that
Christian Musenga. No, Christian mwachinjeshina nishina. Tamulefuaya tibamishibe kale ba mishiba. Ino program bala ikonka kale ba mwishiba kare, so don't even worry about that. Banensu. Washushushu banensu tulomfuana.
Now,
Okay.
don't worry about Washushushu banensu, and they know they are going to be happy in 18 days time. What do we start with now?
Christian Musenga.
With who?
Christian
Mr.
Musenga.
Mwicha, how are you?
Christian, what do you think about our guest, our first female parliamentary candidate, who said kususha ngoma ni kuivulira? And what do you think about HH trip? And what do you think about the Americans, Black Apple America too? Over to you, sir.
Okay, Mr. Mwicha, how are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Mr. Norman Chpakupaku, good to see you. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you so much, sir.
Vamusenga panota
Okay,
tuposha.
thank you. Thank you so much for the hard briefing.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. I think the first speaker we had was good, and I've always been looking forward to meet that lady. She's super and she's fit for the job.
Fantastic. And what do you think about the other topics we've covered tonight? HH trip to Solwezi, him being refused to fly, and the Americans in Mumbai. He's up in New Zealand. No. Let's go to Rose, our sister, Rose Limley.
Good evening, everybody. And I'll go first to the topic for Mr. HH. The only thing I can say, although, let me explain this. My family, they don't want me to be opening my mouth. They are scared. I'm telling you the truth. They say, my brother's like, oh, no, don't do that. But you know what? For me, it's not like I'm a politician. I'm just speaking for them. Mr. Lungu, he has abused the power so much. Mumulu, anyone can fly. Indeketa shikumana, jala kumani no. That's the abuse of power. The other thing I'm just gonna say, these Americans, that shows the head of the state is into that program, because there is no way somebody, you have the wings and tell people what's going on. Because if it was me as a president or the vice president, they'll go to the president. Mr. President, we don't want these people to say anything about us. may you stop this program for these people. But which means maybe the president is the one who is funding everything to these Americans. And then this about everything, Mr. Lungu have to just face the election day. You win, you lose. That's what happens. Because it's too much. People are sleeping without food. People are dying. And Mr. Lungu continue fighting. We know that power is sweet. That's why he doesn't want to let go. That's the only thing I can say.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Faroz. I will go to Chawama Pesi.
Oh,
Chawama, can you unmute yourself?
Yes, I've just done that.
Thank you.
Yeah, basically, myself, I'll speak a bit in terms of the tribalism of that other man. I'll give a simple example. For example, like in Greece, you remember there was that neo-political party, and they let it grow, and they kept on killing immigrants until they killed a Greek person. That's when things changed. Personally, I'm quite happy with the way the Zambians have dealt with it. It's from the first, as soon as they started talking about one tribe, they didn't wait for it to manifest to go to another tribe before they reacted. That's very good. And for me, I find that the people are supposed to actually, even because for me, it's supposed to be in sales right now, actually, to be honest with you. But nobody, even if you go and report, nobody is going to throw him in sales. Just because, for me, I blame the president himself. Because that police commissioner reports to the president. The buck stops at the president. The buck doesn't stop at the army commander, air force commander. No. The buck stops at the president. So anything else, it's the president. So as for me, you can call him the humble one. That's fake being humble. Because if you are humble, it's not just you have to look. No, you have to show your action of that you are humble. Not to this side you are doing this, the other side you are showing us the other side. So for me, I don't really trust the president, to be honest with you. That's my own opinion. And then in terms of the innocent Kalimashi, that one is very interesting, to be honest with you. Yeah, that's a very interesting one, because the reason I say it's interesting, because they are saying they found him with high grade. What the problem with our law in Zambia, it doesn't matter what quantity they find you with. Even if they find you with just consumption, when I say consumption, you can go to 2 years in jail for that. Okay, I'm not sure the lawyer might correct the length of time, but I'm just the bits I've read. You understand? You can go for 2 years for that. Whereas the other time, I think they spoke saying that sometimes you are putting a lot of people in prison who are not worth to be in prison. Anyway, I think I've spoken a lot. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. We go to Arapiri. Arapiri, can you unmute yourself, please? Arapiri. Arapiri.
Hello, Mr. Chibakpako.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Hello, Mr. Chibakpako.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Yes. What I want to say is, our PF, yandeke yavile wanamulesa HH kwenda kundani. Wezo mfuno mulesa kwenda kusaweza. Na last time, Mumvera.
Tumvera, go ahead.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Are you listening?
Go ahead. Yes, we are.
Yes. Yeah, na last time anabwaba mulesa hapo na futi. So manje baona mungati bambo jaira manje. So life ya so siri bwino. Ife vapele tufuna cheni mtendere, my election yakaenda cheni mtendere. Chawama na futi yabe ndanya ene innocent. Baja bantu bizofunika kunkala mu sales kugamba kudala. But babalekelera bangomenya bantu. Violence mu Zambia ndepemene twayiona hapo. So vija vene ya jama stories ya mene tumamvera tio yo sponsor mamelisha si iwaoneka monga ni true manje. Pantu tunamvera ko vinangwa tio vama sponsor machanyu kuma chanyu materialist kuri fake reportage. Mwaona. Veni vintu vinangu na futi vipezeka tivi na mashipi tuambo yaona kusaidi kwinangu ku. So iwoneka monga tia maybe vazoona vingankale vazoona ukafika connect bwino. So manje government ifu konkaraso. Veni ngati waona violence amene yambo chitika muno Zambia yambo kula maningi. Whether libe blood yaso muntu kumenya muntu kankanta na mapanga then government na president alipo pamene wakambati ambo manje ni shitu zambo nkala bwanji life. So pali amawedi amene na kamba poche so
somebody said we have got a humble president who is humbled.
Okay.
All right. So I think what we are going to do is we're going to continue with our program tomorrow. But for those that are still on here, there's always that post-production chat. And so if we could transition into that, that would be good. Please don't go away. Let us do that and chat a little bit. Thank you very much for having joined us today. This has been TV Bakwetu. General Chipakopako, as always, my co-presenter, Elias Munsha here, and to our guest, Princess Beauty Piri, we thank you that she appeared. If you have to get in touch already, people got the phone number quickly, and they've already started sending a little bit of support to her. We thank you, all those that are doing it. But please go to her LinkedIn page, which is Pretty Beauty Undi. Beauty Undi. That is our LinkedIn page. You can also get in touch with Mr. Norman Chipakupaku. Don't get in touch with me, but get in touch with General Chipakupaku, and then he's going to show you how you can help contribute to the Kaseningwa candidate. General, thank you so much as always, and we are going to see each other tomorrow, right?
Yep, tomorrow we are going north. We are going to go north with 2 MPs tomorrow.
All right.
And we're not sure whether it's Mchinga or Northern, but we're going north tomorrow.
All right.
And from Scotland, I just wanted to say thank you to the princess as usual, and thank you to our contributors from Lusaka, from the US. Thank you and good night from Scotland.
All right. Thank you very much. God bless.